GTA Online is dying. There's no two ways about it, the game is slowly dying, or in fact, rather rapidly dying. It seems like more and more each day, players are just leaving the game and realising how stale the game has become. But why is the game dying, and why are people leaving the game? Is it because, you know, the game's 8 years old? Is it because tryhards and griefers ruin the free mode experience? Is it because people don't want to put up with tedious and boring grinding in a busted economy? Is it because the game's releasing for a third time? Also, if you want me to make a video on the fucking embarrassment that was the expanded and enhanced trailer, like this video. But in part, yeah, it comes down to all of them reasons, partially. But the main reason I would say is lack of new content. Well, yes, GTA does get new content, and when the content does come out, it's actually quite fun for about a week, and then it gets boring. It's just simply not enough content to keep the game relevant. I like to call it the Fortnite effect, because it's something Fortnite did really well. That's not to say other games don't do it, but it works really well in Fortnite. Back when Fortnite was relevant, at least. So what is the Fortnite effect? Well, basically, what Fortnite used to do is they used to update the game on a weekly basis. And what this meant is that each week, players would come back to the game to play the game and check out the new content. Now, could you imagine, while Fortnite was in its prime, the game was only updated once a month, or maybe once even 2 months. The game would die pretty quickly. And this would be because once the new content came out, people would get over it in about a week and they'd just get bored waiting for new content. So Fortnite counteracted that by adding new content each week, and it meant each week players had an incentive to go back to the game and keep playing. And that's why Fortnite was so great and it was so successful, because if they updated it only once every like 2 months, people would stop playing because there's not enough content to keep them interested. Now take that hypothetical situation of Fortnite being updated once a month or once every 2 months, and then realise GTA is only updated like once every 7 months. On average, GTA Online only gets 2 DLCs a year. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? And is. And this is so stupid because what will happen is the DLC will come out, players will experience the new content, and then a week or 2 or maybe a month max, they'd realise, oh wait, I've experienced everything, I'm bored of the game now. And sure, yes, there is drip feed for most of these updates that add a new vehicle each week, which does keep players coming back to the game for like a day or 2, but it's not enough to keep them interested for like 6 to 7 months. What happens every year is GTA will be in its dry state, and then a new update will get announced, people will get on the game, play the update, and then about a week or 2 after, the player number just drops as people are now bored of the game and they've experienced everything new to offer. Having 2 updates a year simply isn't enough to keep people entertained. And the thing is, a lot of times people may not even care about these updates because it doesn't appeal to them. For example, the LS Tuners update, the recent update we had, it only appeals to the car community. So if you're like a tryhard, for example, you know, you might want some new weapons, a new weaponized vehicle to change up the meta, or a counter to the Mark II, or a man can only dream, I guess. But no, we got none of that. So all of them people who enjoy all that fighting and PvP stuff, they got nothing from this update because no one's going to use a car in PvP. So quite frankly, they do not give a single shit about the new update. That's not to say the LS Tuners was a bad update. It was pretty fun. Like most updates, I played it for about 2 weeks and then I got bored of it. But while I did play it, you know, it was quite fun. But there's only a certain amount of time you can use the same cars and do the same races and missions over and over again before you realise how fucking boring and repetitive it gets. So how can Rockstar fix this issue and keep people playing GTA Online and for the game not to be in a dead state all the time? Well, in an ideal world, just release a new fucking game. There's no reason you should be updating an 8-year-old game. It's time to make something new. And I think that is the biggest problem. There's only a certain amount of time you can update the same game before it gets fucking boring and everyone's experienced everything. And after 8 years, a lot of people have done everything the game has to offer. It's like GTA Online is like the dull kid in school, you know, the kid who would sit by himself in a corner and just play fucking Clash of Clans in the corner while everyone else is socialising. You know, this would be the kid that'd sit by himself at lunch. He's probably called like Oliver or some shit. You know, like most of the time he'd be this lifeless, senseless fuck, and then he'd get his hands on some, you know, Starburst or something, and he'd have a sugar rush and he'd be hyperactive for about 5 minutes. That's basically GTA Online, but substitute Harry Bowes for a new fucking update. It's just so dead and stale most of the time, and then Rockstar constantly cramming updates into it, trying to make it relevant, and it's relevant for about 5 minutes and then the game just goes back to being dead. But other than releasing a new game or re-releasing the same game for the third fucking time, what else can Rockstar Games do to keep the game relevant? Firstly, update the game more. I see no reason why you can't have like 4 updates a year. Every other game can do it. Warzone gets a new season every couple of months, same with Fortnite. Why can't GTA get updated like every 2.5 months? Like, I see no reason why Rockstar can't have 4 or 5 updates a year. Okay, so yeah, maybe it's a bit of a push to have like 5 updates per year, considering Rockstar are probably working on other games and shit, but if they want to keep GTA Online relevant, that's what they gotta do. You can't expect people to keep playing a game where they have nothing for 6 months and then something to keep them occupied for a few weeks. Like, no one's gonna play that anymore. And when other games are getting constant updates, they're just gonna go to them games instead because they're actually always getting something new and always have a reason to go back to that game. On the topic of updates, make them reach everyone. Don't have an update just centered at cars that will appeal to the car community. You need to appeal to all communities. I guarantee a lot of tryhards or grinders probably didn't give a single shit about the LS Tuners update because they're not car guys, they don't use cars. Like, who the fuck uses cars in free mode anymore? Like, you're just gonna get blown up by a broomstick boy. But it goes both ways. If you had an update just for tryhards and had loads of new guns and weaponized vehicles, the car guys would be pissed off at that, and the grinders would be pissed off at that. Or if you had an update that was a new business and only a new business and shitty ways to grind, everyone else would be pissed at that because they don't grind. An update should appeal to all communities. Have some cars for the car guys, have some new weapons for the tryhards, have a new business for the grinders. It's really not difficult. Also, I think they should have a new map update by now. We've had the same map for 8 years. Yes, there's been the introduction of new properties like the casino or apartments and bunkers and shit, but it's still the same map we had 8 years ago. Give us a new map. Cayo Perico was brilliant, but you can only access it in Heist, but give us a new free roam map or a map extension, just something new. A lot of people have explored every square inch of this map because we've had 8 years to do so. Just give us something new. And yes, while expanded and enhanced looks fucking dog shit to put it simply, if they had a new map or they actually expanded the map, that would be brilliant, and that would get loads of people back to the game because there's something new to explore. That's why so many people are switching over to 5M and shit, because they have loads of new maps. They have altered versions of the GTA 5 map, they have Vice City remakes, Liberty City remakes, like loads of people are just gonna go play that instead. It's been 8 years, give us a new map or a map expansion at the bare minimum. There's no reason why you shouldn't. All in all though, the reason GTA 5 is dying is because of how old the game is and because of how few updates the game gets. So in conclusion, Rockstar, release GTA 6. Anyways, I've been Underwater Pixel. If I've missed anything or there's something you'd like to add, comment it down below and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.